Hello and welcome to the debrief. It's Dave O'Neill. Now, a bit of an unusual one. I'm not in the car. I'm actually at home, and I'm going to ring David Strassman, the ventriloquist, because we used to work all the time in the 90s. I supported him a lot. And he's touring, and, someone said, do you want to talk to David Strassman? I said, I'd love to talk to Strassman, because it's such an interesting, fascinating world, ventriloquism, but also how his career that he took off in Australia. So let's ring him. Let's ring... I hope Chucky answers the phone. I love Chucky. He's puppet. Teddy bear. Yeah, I like Teddy bear, but Chuck was always my favourite. He's an insult puppet. All right, let's talk to David Strassman. Also, I should mention, I'm in touring Perth and Adelaide next year. So the Perth Fringe I'm doing, and those tickets are for sale. If you go to Fringe World, Adelaide's not for sale yet. But if you go to Fringe World, you can buy tickets to see me in my new solo show, The Overweight Lightweight. Anyway, let's ring David Strassman.
G'day.
Is that David Strassman?
G'day. How you going, mate? How you fucking going?
You're Australian. You spend so much time here, you've become Australian.
I'm Australian now, mate. How you going?
I'm good. Long time no speak.
Dude, it's been 30 years, probably.
Wow. So I'm recording. I'll start recording. It's David Strassman, and we used to tour together, didn't we, David?
We did. We toured in the 90s when I had hair. I think you still have yours, don't you?
I've still got hair. Yeah, absolutely. Got fatter and fatter, but, you know. But anyway, it doesn't matter. You don't need hair.
No, I don't. Of course I don't. I know.
And Chucky's still got hair. Chucky's got hair.
Well, no, he doesn't, actually.
Oh, doesn't he?
Well, it's a mixed bag. He has no hair and head tattoos.
Oh, my God. I'm intrigued by Chucky because...
But hold on. Wait, but now he comes out with a blonde wig because he's pretty sure he's transgender.
Oh, wow. See, I was going to say, because Chucky was very politically incorrect back in the day, wasn't he? He just said what he thought.
Yes, he was.
He was an insult. Yeah. He was an insult person, puppet.
He still is.
Man.
He still is. But he's actually right now doing a pro-LGBTQ plus routine, pro-woman routine. Yeah. But it's hilarious and irreverent as well.
So he's like a new age guy.
Well, I don't want to use the word woke, but yeah, he's woke.
He's woke. Chucky's woke.
But Dave, he's a puppet. He's
a puppet. I get it. So it's part of, and so I mean, Chucky was always my favorite. And sometimes I would go backstage.
But when I worked with you back then, this is back at the Comedy Club on Ligon Street in the 90s.
Yes.
That was the last time I worked with you. I think I ran into you at some event somewhere.
Yes. I can't remember, but yeah. And radio too, I would have had you on radio.
Sure. Yeah. Visiting, didn't you work with Stubbsy at one time?
No, but Nova. I was Nova, mainly.
Oh, right. That's right.
And Vega.
That's right. I can't remember. They all had studios and a microphone.
Yeah, and the people change, but some people come back, and there's, different people. Sure. But so that's Chucky, but what about Teddy Bear? Because Teddy Bear was always... He's still around. I see him in the photos.
Of course. Yeah. Teddy Bear is, you'll see him at the zoo. He prepares the exotic menu for the pachyderms.
So he's still cute. But there was never an issue with him.
But in this show, he goes through a transformation as well. He gained a few pounds because of the pandemic. So, he declares he only eats chocolate. That's his full diet. So I try to convince him that, he needs to actually eat some healthy food. And so he goes on a diet and comes back impossibly thin. I mean, we're talking ribs are showing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then he comes back, and then he has to, get off his diet and gain weight, and he comes back looking more like you.
Right, so it's a fat bear. It's a whole
he
journey.
Really does. He comes back and he has folds on folds. Now, here's an interesting tidbit. The woman who made my teddy bears, my thin teddy bear and my fat teddy bear, is Tim Smith's wife, Jules, who you know.
Yeah, of course. Kathy?
Yeah.
Kathy?
And I just spoke to her, Jules, and she said to tell you hello.
Jules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Jules. Yeah, Jules. Because Jules did for a long time. Sorry, I'm just getting my teddy bear cat out of the room. Jules, of course, used to do the Christmas windows at Maya.
Yes,
make all the puppets
she was
and
famous
stuff.
for that. Yeah, famous for those amazing. Well,
yeah, someone told me that Jules had something to do with your puppets. But
yeah.
Well, Tim Smith, I maintain when I started comedy 30 years ago, Tim Smith was one of the best.
He still is. I mean, he left and he went into aviation.
Became a pilot.
He became a pilot. Yeah, and now he is. I believe he does life saving for special needs who swim.
And a farmer.
How about that one?
Didn't he move to the country, become a farmer?
Yeah, he's a farmer. Yeah,
that's amazing.
And you know what? He's a sheep farmer.
He was a great comedian. I always thought.
I loved him. What? You were pretty good yourself too. I always enjoyed working with you.
That was a long time. It was me, you, and Matt King.
Matt King, yeah.
The British guy.
Yeah, he went off to, he had the funniest joke about that lounge room couch.
I can't remember that.
he said, I can't do his accent, but he said, I had a couch and it was avocado green and I came back and it turned brown.
That's right. He had the best jokes, Matt King.
He was very good.
I got a coffee plunger and I pushed it down, a building around the corner blew up. That's right. Yeah, but he went to England and became a bit of a movie star. He was in the Paddington movie.
He did. He was in the Paddington movie?
Yeah, he played a criminal who stole...
I know he was a famous criminal in some weird series over there.
Yeah, Peep Show. He was in Peep Show. But he was also in a Guy Ritchie movie too, Matt King.
Oh, right.
Matt King. I remember one night I remember one night he was complaining about doing a gig and you held his head and pushed it through the curtain and went, have a look at those people. They have to get up tomorrow and go to a job. You don't. So just entertain them, okay?
Did I really do that?
Yes.
So I got a story about Matt King.
Oh, go on.
We were given we did such a great season one year that a paid vacation was given to us. And so we went to the flight center and got a recommendation. Where should we go? We want to go where there are girls and bars and tropics. So she says, well, you should go to Daydream Island. Where's that? It's in the Whitsunday.
Yeah.
So we went, this sounds great. So we booked our flight. We get to Airlie Beach or whatever. We take a shuttle bus or boat over. And we see that it's all mums and dads.
Yeah, the family island.
Yeah, and so when we literally got off on the gangway to get off on the island, this really nice, pleasant-looking young teenage girl who was a helper there or whatever, or worker there, said, "You boys came to the wrong place." So I said, you know what? Screw this. Let's go get a boat and let's go explore the neighboring island, the South Mole Island.
Wow.
So I'm pretty good at seafaring skills. Grabbed a little tinny, went over to the next island. I arrived at high tide. We go and explore this amazing tropical jungle. We go to the top. Captain Cook had named the island. We have this amazing day. I eat termites on a stick. It was just an incredible day. We get back and as we're about to get in our tinny, the another tinny arrives from the island. They're saying, "You're not supposed to be there," and because they've given us permission to go. I said, "This is where we're going." Because I always say, whenever you're going anywhere, you always tell someone where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. You're not supposed to be on the island. And the tinny guys from Daydream Island got stuck on a coral reef, and they had to send a flare to get another boat to get them off. When we finally got back to Daydream Island, everybody who told us it was okay got in trouble, and I said, why? What's the big deal? I said, well, there were goat shooters on that island that day.
Goat what?
goat shooters to cult feral goats. And they said no tourists were allowed to be on that island that day because, running through the bush, you could be mistaken for a goat and shot.
Matt King looked a bit like a goat, let's be honest.
He did with his goatee, yeah. So that was my Matt King goat experience. One of the hell gigs. That wasn't a gig, really. It was a hell holiday.
What about that? I remember you went on a holiday with your then partner, Tina, to an island where you were nude the whole time. You showed me the photos.
Yeah, I've done that. Well, you only like me naked.
What? Chucky was there.
Chucky was naked, all wood and splintered.
What island was that? Was that Lizard Island or somewhere?
No. This is an island now that's booked up through 2025. It's called Hagerson Island, and it's 600 km north of Cairns. It's a privately owned island. Go Google it. You listeners, Google it. When I was there, we were one of the first guests, and it's just it's a Great Barrier Reef, unspoilt, and there's nothing for 500K in every direction.
And they drop your food or something, don't they?
Well, what happened was I asked to be put off on another island to spend a few days with Tina, and in the tropics, why wear clothes? I did that also I got helicoptered into the James Ranges south of Alice Springs.
Wow, you just
with her.
Walked around nude too, around there.
Yeah, well, there's no reason to wear clothes out there. There's no people to look at you.
Don't try it in Adelaide or somewhere.
Well, you can do it in Sydney's King's Cross if you want.
Yeah, as Chucky said, I was walking down King's Cross that great routine he used to do.
That's right. I did a King's Cross reference years ago.
Yes, you did. So we should talk about how did you get into ventriloquism? How long have you been doing it? Like 40 years?
Oh, 35? Well, let me tell you something, Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah.
Back when the Civil War.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what, besides what you can read on Wikipedia, or what do you want?
No, you just tell me, honestly, what happened. Like, just quickly. You don't have to,
Yeah, quickly. I was, I was unloved by my parents, so I needed to get attention. Well, many comedians were.
Yeah.
So I needed to get attention, so I started becoming a magician and found that I could get applause and people going ooh and ow for my stupid magic tricks. And in year 7, a special needs teacher decided to put on a ventriloquist class. I wasn't special needs, but it was an elective. And I took it for the easy grade. But also because I did magic, I thought, ventriloquist and magic, they're similar. Maybe I can get more love doing it. So not only did I excel in the class in year 7, so I must have been, 13 or 14. He showed me how to advertise in the local paper to do kids' birthdays.
Oh, you started doing that.
Yeah, so at age 14, I was doing birthday parties for $35 a show, plus transportation, because I didn't drive. And I'd get free birthday cake, and it was awesome.
Was that Chucky just chucking out a few insults to the 5-year-olds?
Well, no. What I did was they were 8-year-olds. I had 30 minutes of magic and 10 minutes of ventriloquism, and the routine was so stupid. But then in high school, I had an awesome high school. It was the same one where they filmed Breakfast Club.
Wow.
In North Chicago. Yeah. So it was a very affluent high school, and they had a great theater department. I got involved in theater and acting, and I wanted to be an actor. And then I went to 1 year of college and then moved to Manhattan. And I wanted to be an actor in New York. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
So was that the 80s by then? That would have been the 80s.
This is earlier, Sonny.
70s?
This was 1976 my first year at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you were born in 65, right?
Yeah.
I was born in 57. I was born 1 month before the space age.
Wow. And then what happened? So then you did acting
So I did acting, and then my dad visited me in New York and said, "Hey, why don't you pull Chuck out and perform in Central Park?" I went, "That's stupid." He goes, "Just try it." I go, "What? Why?" He goes, "Because it'll be fun." So I did it, and I made $35 in one show.
Better than working in Macca's. Yeah.
Believe me, I've had all those crazy jobs. But so I started busking on the streets in Manhattan, and I made it a full-time job. I quit the acting school, and I made it a full-time job I was making $500 a week, which is about $3,500 American nowadays, in nickels, dimes, and quarters and spare change.
Yeah, wow.
My rent was $125 a month in New York.
Because there is that great tradition of stand-ups coming from street performing, isn't there, in America?
Some of them.
A few.
Few of them did.
Yeah.
Robin Williams did it.
Yeah.
Rich Hall did it.
Yeah.
But when it got cold in winter, you can't busk on the street. So I moved in. I started being the low man in the totem pole at the comic strip in the Improv in New York City. And that's where I worked alongside Eddie Murphy and Jerry Seinfeld and Paul Reiser and all those comedians at the start of the comedy boom in the States in the late 70s. I was there amongst them. Now, they were getting the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock perfect, spots, and I was on at 1 or 2 in the morning. So, I was way behind as far as, their talent and notoriety. But so, then I really made it a full-time job. I was an opening act in the early 80s, moved up to a middle act in the mid 80s. And, by 1988 was when I did my signature routine of Chuck sacking me. I put robotics up his ass and then he comes to life. And that was
in 88.
All the TV. That was 88.
Wow. And so TV, did you
do,
what TV did you do over there, Letterman?
I did, no, I never did Carson or Letterman. I did Arsenio Hall, the Late Show. I did Vegas. I did Reno. I did Dick Clark. I did Comic Strip
Dick
Live.
Clark. Wow.
I did, in fact, Dick Clark and I became fairly good friends, and he worked with me on trying to get a TV show in the States.
And so then when did you first come to Australia? Because that must have been early 90s, because you blew up here massively. You had your own TV show.
1991. It was 1991.
91?
Yeah.
And did you just go on Hey Hey, and then it was, and those sort of shows?
Here's what happened. I come to Australia. Teddy Bear, it was me, Chuck, Teddy, I think Kevin the Alien and my dinosaurs a thing.
Oh, the dinosaurs were cute. Yeah, I remember them.
My queen, yeah. And in the States, Teddy was not a favorite. So I come here. I had no idea you Aussies are teddy bear files.
Yeah.
No idea. No, really. You have teddy bear biscuits, teddy bear chocolates, teddy bear picnics.
Yeah, right.
You have teddy bear pajamas. I mean, it's sickening.
So kids grow up with teddy bears. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not the same in the States. We have more simple things like guns and disinformation and the erasure of women's rights.
Yeah, lynching, whatever.
We have racism. We have police brutality. You guys have teddy bears.
Teddy bear.
Yeah.
And so
we also had an idiot president.
Yeah.
Well, several of them, but anyway.
Reminds me of Chucky Wood, Trump a bit. He's a bit Trumpy.
You do not say his name. We do not. I call him Donald, and I won't say a C word. His name is Donald C. Word in my mind.
Oh, right, yeah.
But he is the president that shall not be named.
Yes, fair enough.
Yeah, but I played the comedy club for 3 weeks, and it went ballistic. And people, I was the next best thing since sliced Vegemite.
Yeah.
And I went on Hey Hey, and that did it. And then I think they extended my season for another 3 weeks, and it went ballistic.
Well, back then, Hey Hey was kind of like Al Carson, because if you went on that and people saw you like similar to Rita Rudner, bang, you just took off. It was just like, if you did well, you just went bang.
Sure. Yeah, and then I think I did 11. They counted it. I did 11 performances on Hey Hey, or more than that.
Wow.
I hold one of the
records.
One of not the records, but close to, as far as a foreign entertainer coming on that show. But I owe my Australian career to Hey Hey.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I remember going on Hey Hey. I didn't take off like that, but I just reckon, especially in the early 90s, everyone watched it on Saturday night. So.
I know, but everyone also slagged it too.
Yes.
It was like, did you watch? I don't watch Hey Hey. Well, what were you doing? Well, where were you? Ready to go out on Saturday night? We watched it. Oh, but you just said you didn't watch it. Well, I saw so and so on it.
Yeah. I was walking past. The kids were watching.
Yeah. I was walking past the telly. Yeah.
Well, that's incredible. And you're doing.
Well, you know what happened to me? There was this really cute girl when I was single years ago. This really cute girl, and I thought I might have a chance. She was on the show, and who is this Natalie Imbruglia person?
Oh, wow. Torn. You were torn.
I was flirting, thinking I wasn't going to get anywhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah. She was attractive. She still is.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it. And did you do Vegas for a while? Did you before COVID? Did you do? Where were you during COVID? During the pandemic?
COVID, I did what you're doing. I started a podcast, a paleontological podcast.
Oh, like dinosaurs?
Well, yes. Well, not just dinosaurs, but a mate of mine who's an Alaskan artist, Ray Troll. We started Paleo Nerds because I would always. I'm an amateur paleontologist.
Are you really?
Yeah, and we have interviewed the top paleontologists and scientists on planet Earth. Everything from the head of the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. to the famous John Long here in Adelaide at Flinders University, who discovered the first evidence of sex in ancient fishes years ago.
Oh.
So that's kind of a hobby of mine. So
you like going to archaeological digs? You like going to that?
Well, I do love archaeology as well, but that's
different.
The study of human society. Yeah, that's the study of human.
So you're more dinosaurs.
I'm everything, but no. This podcast is ancient life, paleo. So it's not just dinosaurs; it's dinosaur shit. We interviewed a woman who studies coprolites, which is dinosaur fossil poo, and you can tell what they ate and their metabolism, a million things.
Wow.
And fishes and shark people and geology people, and it's quite nerdy.
Yeah, fascinating, but very niche, I have to say.
Very niche, yes.
Very niche, but that's a good interest to have. Where are the best sites? Is it Africa or America? Or just everywhere?
For paleontological, for fossils, America and China have the best sites. Australia has some great new discoveries. There's some just here in Victoria, by the coast. There's also up in Queensland, there's some great sites. And of course, Western Australia holds the evidence of the most ancient rocks on planet Earth. And then there's the Gogo fishes, which, is the beginning of pretty much Australia has some awesome fossil sites.
That's a very good hobby to have. And where do you live now? Are you living back in America somewhere?
Yeah, I live in Ojai, California. It's an hour and a half north of Los Angeles. It's kind of like I don't want to say it's like Dalesford, but it's a small rural community. All the Los Angelinos, the rich, go up there and they have their day spas and they try to find their crystal vortexes. And the valley's surrounded by mountains and there's horse paddocks and beautiful oak tree chaparral and there's stars at night. I mean, the kind up in the heavens.
Well, it does sound a little bit like Dalesford, actually.
It's just beautiful and rural, and I love it.
Well, we had some fun times touring. I'm just remembering when we did Ballarat, and I don't know if this is common, but when they opened the doors to the theatre, a man came running down the front with his ventriloquist doll, and he sat the doll on a seat next to him. I don't know if you remember this. And then the usher came up as other people were streaming in and said, "Mate, you're going to have to move your doll." And he goes, "No, I've bought a ticket for him." And he'd bought a ticket.
No. Are you serious?
Yeah, does that happen? Do people bring their dolls or occasionally?
No, I haven't seen that in years, but
back in the day,
when I played the West End and loved it, there was we did a special ventriloquist night. There's a lot of amateur ventriloquists all over the place.
But particularly maybe the population just in England, yeah.
Yeah, I think, well, then there's the dummy jokes. But here's the weird thing about my art form, ventriloquism or mime or magic. You're either brilliant or you're really, really bad. Yes. There's no in between.
Yes.
And the ones that are bad are cringeworthy bad. Right?
Love it.
You're either a brilliant juggler or you're dropping your balls everywhere. Where a comedian, there are varying degrees of cleverness and timing and subject matter. You can, there's so many. There's the gamut of being a successful comic, but for us variety artists, either you're fantastic or you suck.
Yeah, because it involves a certain amount of technique. That's why it's like a science and an art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And talent. There has to be talent.
You can have talent. Yeah. You got to be able to do the voices and stuff. That's right.
Yeah.
Mm. And so looking at your tour dates, and I'll give them at the end, but you're doing a massive tour of Australia. I just know the guy in Geelong because I did the same theatre with Peter Hellier. You're doing
Which one? The Palais?
Yeah, you're doing about 4 or 5 nights.
I'm doing, well, here's the story. My normal Geelong run is one night at GPAC, 2 shows sold out.
Mm.
And GPAC's under renovation. So it's 6 shows in the Palais, which is a tiny theater, like 300 seats or something.
Yeah.
And they're all sold out, which is great. But the reason why I elected to do that, you want to know why, Dave?
Why?
Am I a glutton for punishment? No.
Oh.
I'm playing the Athenaeum the November 15th for the week, and that Saturday night I'm filming my show with 3 camera shoot.
Doing a special, as they say.
Doing a special, and I'm just using all these performances are
warm
just
up.
helping me. Well, no, just to tighten my show.
Of course.
And I love Australia. This is my second home, and the Australian audiences are clever. You guys are well read. You know the news. There's so much topical material in my show, besides character development and all their foibles. And there's even a Liz Truss joke in my performance at the moment. I don't know how long that'll last, but
as long as you say British Prime Minister, former Liz Truss, people will get it. Something about a lettuce.
Yeah. And plus, I'd have a not my job reference in one of the shows.
Oh, ScoMo. That's ScoMo.
Yeah. So these are all things that they'll get laid down in this special and probably be what? A year from now. So.
Well, and how many months of the year do you spend on the road, do you reckon?
Well, obviously COVID, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I don't. I usually spend 3 non-consecutive months a year coming to Australia and New Zealand. So it would be March, May, and October. But this tour is not a nightmare, but it's a slog. It's 2 months because I had to do the Sydney makeup tour. We did, I was 1 week into my 4-week Sydney tour when COVID hit.
Oh.
And, we canceled the whole tour, and I had to find a flight back on Fiji Airways. You had a Fiji joke.
Fiji?
Yeah, Fiji joke. Yeah. Anyway, and so I just finished the Sydney tour. Just got back from New South Wales, and now we're playing all the venues I've been playing for decades. Shepparton, Wanga.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm in Warrnambool, where I made my crew go to Flagstaff Hill Shipwreck Maritime Museum. Before the gig today, and they all went there.
The historical reenactment, place.
Yes.
What? Have you got a strategy for coping with touring on the road, or do you just buckle down and do it?
Say again?
Do you have a strategy for coping with touring?
Well, the strategy is I have a team of 5, so all of us is 5. So there's a tour merchandise manager, stage technician, lighting operator and designer, and sound operator and designer, and he's also the production manager. And we make sure we have craft services in every venue. Which
so proper food, yeah.
Proper snacks during the day to snack on that are healthy. So everybody, you want to take a break, you can go and grab, we have, fantastic snacks.
Hummus. So,
yeah, definitely. We've got rice crackers and hummus. If you come on over, you're welcome, Dave. So that's one of the things. And then we just make sure that we have just some simple rules where everybody's respectful. If you say, like, for example, this morning, in the car at 9:40 a.m., that's it. And everybody's there at 9:35.
Sure, you're on a tight ship, I reckon.
Yeah, so we just make sure we respect each other, and we also, when we have days off, it's not like, hey, what are you doing? We just respect each other's downtime.
Sure, you don't have to all go on some excursion somewhere.
Yeah. And Teddy Bear on our days off buys a dinner at like a really nice restaurant every week, so that's awesome.
Yeah. You say you don't dictate what they do, but you did make them go to that historical place today.
That was the only time this tour I made them do it, because you can't come to Warrnambool and not see the shipwreck coast. And
you got to see it. You got to
at least see it.
Yeah. Well, the tour is massive. Is Chucky there? Can you put him on just to say hello? Or
Dave, he's not real. He's a puppet.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I thought he was real.
Dad, just tell him he's a fucking dickwad. What's that, Chuck? Did you just say something? Yeah. Tell O'Neill I remember when he fucked me over. But you can't swear on this, please, all right? Don't say a naughty word. Both of you guys, I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Dad, do you have any chocolates? Teddy, I'm on the phone, all right? I want chocolates. I know you do, but I'm on the phone.
Come on, Teddy.
I want chocolates.
You got eating issues, mate.
Yeah, you have eating disorder. I don't know him. No, it's a disease. What's that? You're a fuckwit, Teddy. No swearing. We're on a podcast.
Yeah, they can swear on
podcast.
Strazzo. You know, I still remember the time you made Chucky come alive in the dressing room when you weren't in it, and I was sitting there, and he just...
Did I do that to you? Did I play that joke to you?
Yeah, he turned on, he went, "Hey, Dave." I went, "Oh, my God."
Did I really do that?
Yes!
That's hilarious.
The doll came alive.
Yeah.
He came alive.
Was my signature piece. I stopped doing it for a decade, and then...
I'll bring it back.
Well, I did. It's in the show now. And you know what? A ventriloquist stole it and won America's Got Talent.
Ugh, that'd be right.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can go online and look under, I don't know, Strassman's routine got stolen. And
yeah,
Hollywood Deadline did a big article about it. So I'm vindicated.
You didn't go to court or anything?
No, look, you know what? He has to go to sleep every night.
Exactly.
Knowing what he did. And I don't.
Exactly. The judges should have went on to that.
Yeah. No, what would they know? When I actually got to talk to a producer and I said, "How could you have let that happen?" He goes, "Ratings."
Yeah, they're ruthless.
They said, "We don't care. We don't care if there's plagiarism."
It's ruthless. Let me just say, you're in Wangaratta next week. This will go to air next week. So Wangaratta, Shep, Swan Hill, Ballarat, Bendigo, Mulwala. The big one for Melbourne people, the 15th to the 20th of November. And then South Australia, Whyalla. Port Pirie.
Whyalla, Port Pirie, and then we're doing a whole week at Her Majesty's. But I got to say something. The very opening night in Melbourne at the Athenaeum, Tuesday, the 15th of November, is Strazzo Heart Kids Night at the Ath.
Right.
I'm one of the international ambassadors for Heart Kids Australia.
Great.
And I do regular fundraising for them, and I do all kinds of stuff for this fantastic charity. And so I'm donating my proceeds that night to Heart Kids, and we're having an auction. And anybody who buys a ticket,
that's
proceeds goes to Heart Kids. Yeah, so it's the 15th. Opening night at the 15th, Heart Kids Night. Come on down and buy a ticket, and you will be doing a good cause for children with congenital heart defects.
And keep Chucky away from those kids. He doesn't need to upset them.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I've got my thing happening here. Quiet, Chuck. Oh, I'm not going to stay away. You get out of here.
The kids,
anyway.
Yeah, then you're doing Adelaide for it looks like a week in the
doing a whole week at Her Majesty, which is another beautiful theatre. So
go to davidstrassman.com. I did have a look at your tour, and oh boy, you're touring a lot.
You know it.
I know.
You know.
And
I had a look at your podcast. What am I, 154? Is that it?
Yeah, I've done a fair few. Don't worry about that.
You sure have. You did podcasts before they were hot.
Not really, but as I say, I make so much money, it's worth it. That's a joke.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, me too. You know how much money we make? Let's see, negative.
Yeah, negative. Yeah. Well, if you're doing a podcast about paleontology, I couldn't imagine. It's not Joe Rogan. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. And you know what? We do it for the fun of it, and I do it because I want to learn about all the subjects that we interview these experts on. And if you are bored, you can look at paleonerds.com. And the great thing is my artist friend does these fantastic drawings and paintings of all these people we interview. So it's just great.
It's great to have an interest like that. It's great. And you know what? There'll be at least one person listening to this that'll go, well, I actually like that stuff. I'm going to go listen.
Exactly. One person will, and it is family friendly. So if you have teenagers who like dinosaurs, you might like it.
Well, maybe, I'd say 5 people then. I'm going to say 5 people listening.
You could go back to be honest about 1.
Well, great to chat to you, David Strassman. Good to catch up.
And I expect you're in Melbourne, right?
I'm in Melbourne.
Okay, you better come out to the app, and we'll go out and have some ginger ale with a ginger beer together.
I want to see how... I drink beer. I don't drink a lot of beer.
Okay.
Are you a non-drinker now? Were you a drinker?
Well, you know what? I was a big drinker. This is my 10th year of no alcohol.
Yeah. Oh, I don't drink much, so yeah, we can have a diet.
No, you can. No, I'll just line them up and watch you just...
No, I'm not a big drinker.
But come to the show. I'd love you to see.
I'd love to see how it's developed. Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'm going to come.
Pretty crazy and some very awesome societally relevant materials in my show. Right
You'll see me sitting up the front with my arms folded, looking at my phone.
Or no, you'll be in the back with a notepad taking
jokes. Then you'll see one Australia's Got Talent next year.
Yeah.
With my new character, Teddy Ware.
There you go. Teddy
something.
Teddy Dog.
Teddy Dog. Yeah, hello, everyone. I'm Teddy Dog.
Yeah. No, it's a pleasure, Dave. And you know what? When my publicist said that you have this show, I couldn't wait to talk to you because it's been so long.
Yes, great. I was excited to talk to you to see what you're doing, and I know what you're doing, but it's good to chat.
And you know what's weird is that I still see you from 1990, like in my mind's eye. I haven't seen you in a long time. So I'll bet you look the same. No gray hair or anything.
No, I've got grey hair, fatter, older. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, David Strassman. Go and see him.